Hello learners! Welcome back to my channel. It's great to see you again here in our virtual classroom. I'm Ma'am Raina, your MAPE teacher, and I'm excited to continue our learning journey together. For this episode, we're moving forward to weeks 3 and 4 of our Physical Education and Health 8 lessons under the MATATAG K-12 revised curriculum. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming lessons. Grab your notebook and PE journal, find a quiet spot to focus, and let's begin this exciting lesson together. Let's begin with our learning competency for this episode. Discuss sexually transmitted infections and their preventive measures. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to 1. Understand sexually transmitted infections, STIs. Understand what STIs are, including their definition, common types, and how they are transmitted. Discuss the causes of STIs, including bacteria, viruses, parasites, and other pathogens. Identify the symptoms and health consequences associated with various STIs. Explore the epidemiology of STIs, including prevalence rates and risk factors. 2. Explore preventive measures. Understand the various methods and strategies for preventing STIs. Discuss the importance of comprehensive sex education in STI prevention. Identify and explain the role of barrier methods, such as condoms, in preventing STIs. Explore the concept of mutual monogamy and its role in STI prevention. Discuss the importance of regular STI testing and early treatment. Address societal factors, such as stigma and discrimination, that can affect STI prevention efforts. The content of our lesson today includes 2 important topics. 1. The nature of sexually transmitted infections. These are infections that are spread mostly through sexual contact. They are caused by bacteria, viruses, and other microorganisms that can enter the body through blood, semen, vaginal fluids, or skin-to-skin contact. Some common examples include HIV and AIDS, gonorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis, genital warts, genital herpes, HPV, human papillomavirus. We'll look at how these infections spread, their symptoms, and how they can affect your health and well-being. 2. Ways and measures to prevent STIs. STIs can be prevented by making responsible and informed decisions. Here are some of the most effective preventive measures: abstinence, use of contraceptives, mutual monogamy, non-use of psychoactive substances, and proper education. This topic is not just about knowing the facts. It's about taking care of yourself and respecting others. Let's dive deeper into each part. Learning starts now. Before we dive into our new topic, let's take a quick but meaningful trip back to our previous lesson. We're going to play a fun and thoughtful activity called Gender Insights Exchange. This is your chance to reflect, share, and connect with your classmates on what you've learned about gender issues. Here's what you need: a prompt card with a question or statement about gender-based issues, a timer or clock. We'll keep this short and sweet. Step 1. Prompt card sharing, 1 minute. I'll give each of you a prompt card with a thought-provoking question like, share a time you witnessed gender bias, or what's one way we can promote gender equality? Take a moment to think about your answer. Step 2. Pair discussion, 2 minutes. Now, find a partner. Take turns sharing your answers and really listen to each other. Remember, no judgment, just open minds and respectful hearts. 3. Group reflection, 1 minute. Let's come back together as a group. Who'd like to share a highlight from your conversation? Did you notice any common experiences or powerful insights? Let's reflect on why it's important to keep talking about and standing up against gender-based issues. Step 4. Action planning, 1 minute. Now, for the challenge. Think of one simple action you can take this week to promote gender equality, whether it's speaking up, being more inclusive, or educating others. This quick activity shows how a few minutes of honest conversation can spark awareness, action, and change. Now that we've warmed up, are you ready for today's new topic?
Of the 20 million new cases diagnosed every year, half are among the 15 to 24 age group.
To begin our discussion, you will watch a short but informative video entitled STDs and STIs, Teen Health, Centerstone.
Roughly 4 in 10 sexually active young people are carriers of an STD, many of whom have no idea they are infected.
You can click the link below or scanning this QR code using your phone or tablet camera. As you watch, take down notes to help you answer these questions. Answer the following processing questions in your health journal or activity notebook. Why are young people aged 15 to 24 more prone to STDs, STIs according to the video? What does the statistic about protection use during sex indicate about teen behavior? What is the primary recommendation for protecting against STDs/STIs as emphasized in the video? Take your time and be honest in your answers. In our next activity, I will show you some abbreviations related to our topic. If you know what any of them stands for, raise your hand and share your answer with the class. Let's see how many you already know. STD, sexually transmitted disease. Infections transmitted through sexual contact, including but not limited to gonorrhea, chlamydia, and syphilis. A disease passed from one person to another during sexual contact. STI, sexually transmitted infection. An infection transmitted through sexual contact, including bacterial, viral, and parasitic pathogens. An infection you can get through sexual activity even without symptoms. HIV, human immunodeficiency. Virus. A virus that attacks the body's immune system, weakening its ability to fight off infections and diseases. A virus that makes the body's defense system weaker over time. HPV, human papillomavirus. A group of viruses that can cause genital warts and cervical cancer. A common virus that may lead to warts or cancer. AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, the final stage of HIV infection, characterized by a severely weakened immune system and susceptibility to opportunistic infections. The most serious stage of HIV, when the body can no longer fight off infections. Let's now move on. We're diving into something that's very important for your health and future: sexually transmitted infections, or STIs. For this activity, we'll watch an educational video from amaze.org titled STI Prevention Beyond Condoms. You can watch it using this YouTube link, or you may also scan the QR code shown here to go straight to the video. After watching the video, let's take some time to reflect and check your understanding. Answer the following questions in your notebook. 1. How would you define a sexually transmitted infection, STI, based on the information provided? Can you provide examples of common STIs? Think about how the video described what an STI is and how people can get it. 2. What are the various ways in which STIs can be transmitted according to the discussion? Recall the different ways people can get infected, not just through sexual contact. You may begin with, STIs can be transmitted through. Then include examples such as unprotected sex, sharing needles, or from mother to baby. 3. What factors contribute to the spread of STIs? Think about the reasons why more people, especially teens, are getting STIs. Consider things like lack of awareness or not using protection. Let us now discuss STIs. What is an STI? STI stands for sexually transmitted infection. STIs, formerly known as sexually transmitted diseases, are infections that are primarily passed from one person to another through sexual contact. These infections may not always show symptoms, which means a person can have an STI without even knowing it. That's why it's important to stay informed and practice safe behaviors. STI transmission includes oral, vaginal, and anal sex. They can be caused by bacteria, like chlamydia or gonorrhea, viruses, like HIV or HPV, or parasites, like trichomoniasis. STIs can affect both men and women, and if left untreated, they can lead to serious health problems such as infertility, pregnancy complications, or increased risk of acquiring other infections. Modes of STI transmission. 1. Sexual contact. Most STIs are spread through sexual intercourse, whether it's vaginal, anal, or oral sex. During these activities, the virus, bacteria, or parasite can enter the body through the lining of the genitals, rectum, or mouth. Even if a person has no symptoms, they can still pass the infection to their partner. 2. Mother to child. Vertical transmission. Some STIs, like HIV, syphilis, and hepatitis, can be passed from an infected mother to her baby. This can happen during pregnancy, when the infection crosses the placenta, during childbirth, through contact with infected fluids, or while breastfeeding in some cases. That's why it's important for pregnant women to be tested and treated if necessary. 3. Blood transmission STIs such as hepatitis B, hepatitis C, and HIV can be transmitted through contact with infected blood. This can happen through sharing needles or syringes, receiving contaminated blood products, or using unsterilized medical tools or tattoo equipment. Avoiding needle sharing and ensuring clean medical practices help prevent this kind of transmission. 4. Skin-to-skin contact. Some STIs, like HPV, human papillomavirus, and herpes, can be passed through skin-to-skin contact, especially in the genital area. This means they can spread even without penetration or visible symptoms. STIs are not always visible, and a person may not even know they are infected. That's why knowledge, protection, regular testing, and honest communication are key to prevention. Common types of STIs. These are some of the most widespread sexually transmitted infections, their effects, and how to avoid them. 1. HIV and AIDS. Causative agent, human immunodeficiency. Virus, HIV. What it does, attacks the immune system, weakening the body's defense against infections. AIDS is the final stage of HIV when the immune system is severely damaged. Symptoms: flu-like symptoms early on, then gradual immune system failure if untreated. Transmission: sexual contact, blood, sharing needles, mother to child, birth breastfeeding. Complications: opportunistic infections, cancers, and death if untreated. Prevention: safe sex, avoid sharing needles, HIV testing, antiretroviral therapy. 2. Gonorrhea. Causative agent: Neisseria gonorrhoeae bacterium. Symptoms: painful urination, yellow at green discharge, genital pain or swelling transmission. Unprotected vaginal, anal, or oral sex complications, pelvic inflammatory disease, PID, infertility, blindness in newborns. Prevention: condom use, regular STI testing, abstaining from risky sexual behaviors. 3. Chlamydia. Causative agent: Chlamydia trachomatis, bacterium. Symptoms: often silent, but may include genital discharge, pain during urination, or sex transmission. Unprotected sex complications: infertility, ectopic pregnancy, PID, infection in newborns. Prevention: consistent condom use, regular checkups, treatment of both partners. 4. Syphilis. Causative agent: Treponema pallidum, bacterium. Symptoms: by stage: primary, painless sore, chancre. Secondary: rash, fever, swollen lymph nodes. Latent: no symptoms. Tertiary: organ and nerve damage, blindness, even death. Transmission: sexual contact, mother to child. Blood transfusion, rare. Complications: brain damage, heart problems, miscarriage prevention. Early testing and treatment with antibiotics, penicillin. 5. Genital warts, caused by some strains of HPV. Causative agent: human papillomavirus, HPV. Symptoms: small, flesh-colored or gray growths in the genital anal area. Transmission: skin-to-skin contact during sexual activity. Complications: discomfort, embarrassment, HPV-related cancers. Prevention: HPV vaccination, using condoms, though not 100% protective. 6. Genital herpes. Causative agent: herpes simplex virus, HSV, usually HSV2. Symptoms: painful blisters or sores in the genital or anal area. Itching, flu-like symptoms. Transmission: skin-to-skin or sexual contact, even without visible sores. Complications: recurrent outbreaks, emotional distress. Transmission to newborn prevention. Avoid sex during outbreaks. Antiviral medication. 7. HPV infections. Causative agent: human papillomavirus, different strains. Symptoms: often no symptoms, can cause genital warts or lead to cancer. Transmission: skin-to-skin contact, especially during sexual activity. Complications: cervical cancer, throat cancer, genital warts. Prevention: HPV vaccine, recommended at ages 9 to 14, regular Pap smear screening, epidemiology of STIs. Let's take a closer look at how widespread sexually transmitted infections are around the world. The numbers might surprise you and remind us why awareness and prevention are so important. Globally, more than 1 million STIs are acquired every single day. That's right, every day, millions of people become newly infected. In the year 2020 alone, there were about 129 million new cases of chlamydia. 82 million people contracted gonorrhea. 7.1 million new cases of syphilis were reported, and 156 million people got trichomoniasis, another common STI. Looking at other data, as of 2016, over 490 million people were living with genital herpes. Around 300 million women had an HPV, human papillomavirus infection, which is linked to several types of cancer. Chronic hepatitis B affected about 296 million individuals globally. These statistics show that STIs are a major global health issue, affecting people of all ages, genders, and backgrounds. They also highlight the need for education, prevention, early detection, and access to treatment to protect sexual and reproductive health worldwide. All right, class, now that we've discussed what STIs are, how they're transmitted, and their global impact, it's time to test what you've learned. Activity number 3, understanding sexually transmitted infections. You will be completing a table, and your task is to fill in the missing information based on our lesson today. It's time to be a little detective and apply what you know. Your job is to write the correct answers in the empty spaces. Think of it like solving a puzzle. You already have the pieces from our discussion. All you need to do is put them in the right place. Use your notes, listen to your instincts, and recall what we talked about. And yes, you can review the video if you need help. Look closely. Some diseases are caused by bacteria, some by viruses, and others by parasites. So grab your pen, focus your mind, and get ready to show what you know. Ready? Steady? Let's complete the table. All right, grade 8. Now that we understand what STIs are and how they spread, let's talk about something even more important: how to prevent them. That's right. It's time to be smart, safe, and responsible. Let's reflect with these guide questions. I want you to listen carefully and think deeply. First question: what are some ways you can protect yourself from getting sexually transmitted infections? Think about habits and choices that help reduce risk. Next question: why is it important to use protection, like condoms, during sexual activity? Condoms are not just about preventing pregnancy. They are a barrier of protection. And last question: how often do you think it's important to get tested for STIs? And why? Getting tested isn't just for when you feel sick. Many STIs show no symptoms at all at first. Remember, prevention is power. Knowledge, protection, and responsibility can help keep you and others safe. Understanding methods and strategies for preventing STIs. Let's explore the smart and effective ways to protect ourselves from sexually transmitted infections. Prevention is always better than cure. And here's how we can stay safe and healthy. Abstinence. This means choosing not to have any type of sexual contact. It's the only 100% effective method to prevent STIs. No sexual activity equals no chance of transmission. Vaccination. Did you know there are vaccines that protect against some STIs? The HPV vaccine can prevent cervical cancer and genital warts, while the hepatitis B vaccine protects your liver from infection. These vaccines are safe and powerful tools for prevention. Condom use. When used correctly and consistently, condoms form a barrier that reduces the risk of most STIs, including HIV. Remember, condoms are effective when used every time during sex. Communication. Talk openly with your partner about your sexual history and whether you've been tested for STIs. Being honest builds trust and safety. It's also a sign of maturity and care. Education. Knowledge is power. The more you know about STIs, how they're spread, what symptoms look like, and how to prevent them, the better decisions you'll make. Stay curious, ask questions, learn from reliable sources. Comprehensive sex education is more than just knowing about body parts. It gives you accurate and age-appropriate information about STIs, how they spread, and how to protect yourself. It empowers you to make informed, healthy decisions about your own body. It also helps bust myths and misinformation that can cause fear or risky behavior. One major method of protection is the use of barrier methods. Condoms, when used correctly, they are highly effective in preventing the spread of STIs through bodily fluids like semen, vaginal fluids, or blood. Dental dams. These flat pieces of latex reduce the risk of STI transmission during oral sex. These barriers help protect both partners, especially when STI status is unknown. Another strategy is mutual monogamy. This means that both partners agree to be sexually active only with each other, and only if both are uninfected. It's a trusting relationship built on commitment and safety. Next, let's talk about regular STI testing and early treatment. STIs can often go unnoticed because many don't have symptoms right away. That's why regular testing is important, even if you feel healthy. Early detection equals early treatment. Many STIs can be cured or managed effectively, preventing long-term health issues and protecting others from infection. Now, let's look at some societal factors that affect STI prevention. Stigma and discrimination. When people are judged or shamed, they're less likely to ask questions, get tested, or seek help. Access to health care. Not everyone can easily get tested or treated. That's why free youth-friendly clinics and education programs are so important. Public policy. Laws and health policies should help protect and educate people, not create fear or limit access. Being informed is being empowered. Keep learning, keep asking questions, and remember, your health matters. Now that we've learned about different STI prevention strategies, let's put your understanding to the test with Activity 4, STI Prevention Strategies. Matching game. Here's how it works. In column A, you'll see the names of different STI prevention strategies. In column B, you'll see descriptions or examples of each strategy. Your job is to match each item in column A to the correct description in column B. Write your answer on your notebook. Let's read them together. Here's the correct answer. Nice work so far, grade 8 learners! Before we move on, let's pause for a bit and reflect on what we've learned with this quick activity. Here's what you'll do. In your notebook, you'll see some statements based on our lesson today. For each statement, draw an emoji that shows how sure you are about what it says. Heart, I'm confident. Face with hearts, I'm pretty sure. Thumbs up, I'm sure. Sad face, I'm not sure. Write your answers in your notebook and be honest with yourself. It's okay to feel unsure about some things. We're all here to learn. We still have another fun activity coming up after this. So get those takeaways done and let's keep learning. And now, it's time to pause, breathe, and really think about what we've learned. This activity is called Reflection on Learning. Let's talk about it. It's as easy as RRU. Recall, react, and understand. Recall. What do you remember? Take a moment to write down anything that stuck with you from today's lesson. A fact, an idea, a tip, or even a new word you've learned. Example, I remembered that abstinence is the only 100% way to avoid STIs. React. How did the lesson make you feel? Was it surprising? Eye-opening? Maybe it answered a question you were too shy to ask before. Write your reaction or insight honestly. Example, I was shocked to learn that some STIs don't show symptoms, but can still be passed on. Understand. What's your big takeaway? Sum up what you now understand about our topic. Try to express it in your own words, as if you're explaining it to a friend. Example, I now understand that being informed, using protection, and communicating with your partner are smart ways to prevent STIs. And now for our final activity. Let's check how well you understood today's lesson. Formative assessment, identification test on STIs and prevention strategies. You will be given a series of descriptions or clues. Your task is to identify what is being described and choose your answer from the choices provided in the word box below. Take your time. You may pause the video after each item to think carefully and write your answer in your notebook. Make sure to read each question and all the choices before making your final answer. Are you ready? Let's begin. Here is the correct answer key. Check your work. What is your score? I hope you learned something valuable today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this lesson with your classmates or friends. Until our next episode, goodbye and stay safe.